Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said, sir. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
We up?
Counsel, we up.
All right, let's clap it up. All right. Testing 1, 2. Let me know if you're here. Let me put 1 in the chat. Yabashim and Shabrak a thumb. So like, hit that like right there on that pillar, please, brother.
Yabashim Shabrak.
Yabashim Shabrak, brother. What's going on? You too well?
Yeah, to up, sir.
All right, most if you have any questions, just shout it out. All right.
Counsel.
You know to deal with it. And Yashimata Bashim Yashai, all the sisters listening on. Tonight we're gonna do DC scripture breakdown class, but for sure we're gonna get some of this energy to these preachers. You know what I mean? These preachers done decided they're gonna come out to defend the oppressor with all the oppression he putting us through, all the oppression these small hats putting us through, and that they want us to just eat it and swallow it down and take it and not say a word. You get the point? Not say a word. Pugaibo, do me a favor, please. Trim back this fan here. I think it's on all. Let's hit it twice. 1, 2. Let's see if that helps. All right. So, any questions in the chat? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So like yes, sir, right? As you're going in on that now, I was just going through the book of Jeremiah, right?
Right.
And in verse chapter 20, Jeremiah 20, from 1 to 3 now, right? So just if I could get a little insight or a little breakdown, on basically when in verse 3, I could read it or
Okay. All right, go ahead. You said Jeremiah 20?
Yeah, Jeremiah 20.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Right. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 20 and verse 1. Right. Now Pastua, the son of Immer, the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of the Lord, heard that Jeremiah prophesied these things. Right? Verse 2. Then Pasua smote Jeremiah the prophet and put him in stocks that were in the high gate of Benjamin. Right? So just this part, this part, and then we the meaning I name Isna. Right? So I just want to find out what the stocks is now.
Oh, okay. I get you. Okay, the stocks, you've seen it before. Bakwash, pull up slave stock. Slave stocks. The stocks is like a tool of bondage. It's like you ever see that thing where you have your head and your hands in like that?
Can.
That's called a stock.
Okay.
They put you in stocks.
Right.
It's like you in almost like you under arrest, but it's not yet. But you're not. It's not. Don't think handcuffs and you're sitting in a cell.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That stocks now is a little bit different. All right. The brother gonna pull up a picture of it for you shortly. You found it yet, before? Right. So read verse 2 again.
Can. Right. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 20 and verse 2. Then Pasua smote Jeremiah the prophet and put him in stocks that were in the high gate of Benjamin, which was by the house of the Lord.
Right. You see it right there?
Yeah, counsel.
Right. So all those things would be stocks where they incapacitate your head, your hands, your feet, stuff like that. You get what I'm saying?
Can.
So that would be the stock, or they put him in the stockade, which is just like an imprisonment even.
Can.
You understand?
Can.
So now they came up against Jeremiah for what he was saying, and it's down here like they arrested him.
Right.
Right. That was it?
Yeah, and verse 3, right?
Okay.
And it came to pass on the morrow that pursuer brought forth Jeremiah out of the house, out of the stocks. Then said Jeremiah unto him, The Lord hath not called thy name pursuer, but Magor Misabed.
Okay.
Right. So it's like, just like how you make mention how, he put him in that now. So it's like, he's my brother. I just asking now, like, he's my brother. And because now I telling you that what the Lord say to do, you do me this wickedness. So it's like, he calling him, basically the Lord is like Jeremiah calling him a name, basically, or wicked, call him wicked. I just asking, so like, yeah.
Okay, you saying that, okay, because this Pashur put him in stock, it's like Jeremiah saying, like, that's not your name. Your name is really wicked man.
Yeah, can.
Kind of like that. Because if you read on, you'll see it.
Can.
Read on.
Can. Verse 4. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself and to all thy friends, and they shall fall by the sword of their enemies, and thine eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive into Babylon, and shall slay them with the sword.
Right? So it's like he telling him, your name is this because this is what's really going to happen.
Can.
Because of how you are, how you handling. All right, let me see exactly what this one here mean. Hold on one second. This is in verse 3, right?
Can.
Right, it means terror on every side.
Good night.
It means terror on every side. It's the name given to Pashur, the priest, by Jeremiah when Pashur smote him and put him in the stocks for prophesying against the idolatry of Jerusalem. So now he's saying your name ain't Pashur no more. You're going to be scared on every side.
Right.
Like it's almost like you know how Israelites, somebody do something, somebody who have power do something, and you be like, don't worry, the Lord gonna see about you.
Right.
Is like that, but he calling the name of, he calling him that name to say, you using your power to bring fear to me. The Lord gonna make you afraid.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord gonna make you afraid. The Lord gonna bring fear unto you. That, damn, you're like, just think of any Christian preacher. That's really what this is here. This is somebody who had that power like a preacher, you know what I mean, to come up against Jeremiah because he's not down with the idol worship that the preacher is down with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he want to hurt Jeremiah for it. And Jeremiah is like Jeremiah cursed him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shapat? Okay, hit this one more time. Easy, just one more time.
That's just his two things if I make. Pastor is just his name. It doesn't like where the word pastor would come from or nothing like that.
I don't think so. We could look it up and see. Look it up in your Hebrew and see what Pashur means. But I don't think that's where it comes from. Because the word pastor is in the Bible. The word pastor, I think, is translated into shepherd or something. Go ahead.
So when you say he's saying the Lord gonna have you scared. Like somebody who got what they call like schizophrenia, like everything scares them around them.
No, don't think like that, because he said what he's going to make happen. He said he's going to deliver them into the hands of the enemy. Meaning he's going to punish him for this, because this pastor here is not coming up against Jeremiah. He's coming up against the Lord. Right. You understand? Because Jeremiah is prophesying against the idols that they worship in this part here. Right, and this I think is the land of Benjamin. Hold on. Must have some in verse 19. verse 19 and give me start at 3.
Counsel.
Sir. You said verse 19?
Yes, 19, chapter 19 and verse 3.
19. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 19, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And say, hear ye the word of the Lord, O kings of Judah.
Go ahead.
And inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring evil upon this place.
Mm-hmm.
The which whosoever heareth, his ears shall tingle.
His ears shall tingle, meaning, what does that mean?
He's going to take interest to what he's hearing.
Yeah, like as you hearing this shit is going to bother you. It's whatever he's saying, you're gonna be like, what the fuck he just said? It's going to bother you, it's gonna blow your mind. Right? It's gonna make your ass tingle, it's gonna blow your mind. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Because they have forsaken me,
Mm-hmm.
and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other gods,
Mm-hmm.
whom neither they nor their fathers have known,
Mm-hmm.
nor the kings of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
and have filled this place with the blood of innocents.
Right, that's your Christian preachers, right? They turning Israel to idol worship and fill this place with the blood of innocence, meaning what?
The Christian preachers have not taught us, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the righteous way, the narrow path. They have not taught us to follow the Most High God, which we are dying. We are in mourning now. Because
say that one more time.
The Christian preachers have not taught us the law. They have not taught us this word they have not taught us the right way to live according to the Bible.
And because they haven't taught us,
we're dying.
That's the perfect way. And that would encompass everything, whether it's the abortions, whether it's black and black crime, no matter what it is. And okay, our people are dying innocent because we don't know any better. We're not innocent in terms of not sinning against the Lord, but we're innocent in that we ain't never really been taught the better way. You get the point? Most of our people really don't know the truth. Really do not know the truth. You get the point? So we dying innocently. We dying in a way where it's like, why me? You get the point? Is that why me feeling? How many people have you ever heard? That's why, not to really to vouch for this fool, he's in the world, but that's why that character Charleston White, the stuff he says is so jarring to people. You understand? It's so jarring to people because of our belief. Our belief leads us to think, love and kindness and everybody is love and everybody gets love. When what he's saying is you are going to reap what you sow. Like if you are terror and doing this and this and that, and you killing people, you gonna get killed. You gonna do this. You gonna go to jail. You gonna do that. And to some people, it sounds so weird and far-fetched and your age and this, that, the other. And of course, he's in the world. He don't know the truth or anything. But what he's saying, if you understand it, and when you go out there to teach, we trying to tell Israel, listen, man, the way we live in is not how we're supposed to be living. You understand? We have laws to obey, statutes to obey. We have a different life that we live that's different from how we live in now. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The word, the name pastor means freedom.
Okay. It means freedom, right? So now he's telling him he's going to be what? Surrounded by terror. He ain't going to be free. But he's going to be forever punished and in hell down there. All right. Where we at? Verse 4. Please keep reading, please.
Verse 4. Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. They have built also the high places of Baal,
mm-hmm.
to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not nor spake it, neither came it into my mind.
Right, so they build these altars to Baal where they sacrifice their children. That was an old custom. That's why the scriptures say, don't sacrifice your children to Baal. Make them pass through the fire. That pass through the fire comes from actually putting the children through the fire. But later on, it became just a literary reference of going through trouble. But there was a time where our people took up the customs of the heathens to put your children through the fire. Like how them East Indians walk through fire and, you know, walk on, you had to take all this pain and shit like that. That was the custom of the heathens to their gods to show how devoted you are. It also comes, it also has the root in what them Muslims just do with the beating of themselves and with the knives where they cut themselves on the forehead. Everybody ever see it? That knives they use to just cut themselves on the forehead. But them East Indians, they make like a whip with knives. Just whip their back. Whip their back is like a self-mutilation to show how devoted you are to your God. They would do to children. Go ahead.
Don't Catholic priests do the same thing?
But they do it more to atone for sins. So like if you know he doing Sunday mass and he watching that little boy booty in the little fucking dress as they're passing with the smoke, he watching the little boy ass and he'd be like, ooh, like the little man from Family Guy, oh little boy. He had to go in the back now and put nails in his shoes and whip himself to sleep because he done lusted over that damn boy. You get the point? But this one is different. This one is them offering their beloved to Baal. Right? Give me some more.
Verse 6. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter.
Right. So he's now, that valley of Hinnom is where, who remembers where that valley of Hinnom is from? Broke this down before, guarantee. The valley of Hinnom. Look up Hinnom. Go ahead.
Can I read what I got off of
Please.
Wikipedia?
You could have looked it up in the Bible dictionary, but go ahead. Go ahead. Let me see. Let me hear what you are.
Come. Valley of Hinnom. Gehenna.
Mm-hmm.
The Valley of Hinnom. Valley of the son of Hinnom is a historic valley surrounding ancient Jerusalem from the west and southwest.
Mm-hmm.
The valley is also known by the name Gehenna, an alternative biblical Hebrew form which survived into Aramaic and has received various fundamental theological connotations, and by the Greek and Syriac transliteration Gehenna.
Not that ain't getting you enough. Look up come on.
Then I guess
Would you sacrifice the kids?
Go ahead, so what?
yeah, well I'm looking it up in the Zondervan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hinnom, right? A camping. I see this. That's what I guess.
No sweat. Take your time. You found it?
Yeah, can, right? Hinnom, right? A dumping ground and a place for burning and of Jerusalem, right?
That's it?
You can.
No sweat. Book watch anymore?
That's it for Hinnom. Then it goes to Topheth.
Okay. You could say what Topheth. Well, let's deal with Hinnom first. Hinnom is where you actually get the word, the context of hell from that Christians take from the Bible. Hinnom was a place where you would go bury the dead, not bury the dead. like everything outside that you don't want, that's refused from Jerusalem. So think like under a bridge, how you have people living there, but then there are people from the freeway throwing shit. Then you have people throwing the dead animals there. You know, it's just a whole dumping place. But there was people living there, and it's like they would say, well, hey, wait, Bakwash, I ain't see him, man. Shit. He in Hinnom, man. He in Hinnom. And when the Greeks came with the hell, that place of discomfort or, you know, away from society that was low, that was just low. It was a low place to be and a dumping ground and where trash was, but there's people living there. They would start to call that hell over time. He's in hell, but it's talking about the condition of where he's living, right? I broke that down before. Go ahead.
Counsel, I remember. Would you call that like in modern time like Skid Row, quote unquote, down where like?
But that's still in the city. This is outside the city. So think like think like you're leaving DC, going to Virginia. That bridge. Imagine there's people living under that bridge. There's a whole city under there. But it's really a place where DC would dump everything. The needles from the hospital, baby diapers, trash, dead dog, cats they don't want. It's just a dumping ground. It was a place that was notorious, became not famous, but became known in Israel as just, you know, when you had to go there, you just, you know, the lepers is living there, the outcasts from society. You get the point? It's like that.
So what was it, like a designated dumping ground, or
it became that? Just like in anything in Israel, it becomes that. If you live in an area where the trash truck don't come, there's a corner where everybody just drop the damn trash bag. There's no big bin that, you know, the trash truck come and put the fork in and throw it over. They don't have that because the area is just neglected by the politician. But there's a spot where everybody knows just put your trash there, and that area just becomes whatever it is. And over time, that should just get big. And then some people, you're homeless or whatever, something happened, you just end up in there. You have a bad problem, you know, whatever it is going on, you end up. Just think like today. The closest thing is like under a bridge. Like imagine a tent city under a bridge, away from the city where people just toss shit. And it became synonymous with hell because of the condition that you would be living there. You get the point? And because, you know, it kind of like intermarried in the meaning. You understand what I'm saying? So now he's saying a time coming when this place ain't going to be called Hinnom no more. It's going to be called the Valley of Slaughter. You know, it's going to be worse than what you know Hinnom to be. And Hinnom was like, you don't want to end up there. You don't want to end up, you know, living on the street. You don't want to end up living on a bridge. Go ahead.
So literally when they say it won't be called the Valley of the son of Hinnom, that's just a person that lived in that land.
No, I believe that's what it was called, because even in the Bible dictionary, it's just called the son of Hinnom, right? So he's saying a time coming when that shit ain't going to be just that horrible place, you know, but it's going to become the Valley of Slaughter, because everybody going to die. Everybody is, you know, punishment coming to Jerusalem. So imagine this nigga saying this shit, and they worshiping Baal and all these other gods. The preacher get angry and smite him, beat him, and put him in the stock. You understand? Because of what he was saying about that region. You get the point? And imagine somebody come to your spot. Imagine somebody come to Bowser and tell her, listen, man, if you don't, you know, clean up this place, soon the Lord gonna come and punish you and do this and really laying in. It's gonna be a problem. You understand? It's going to be a problem. All right. So what you get?
Counsel.
Right, so that's what it is. He prophesying against them, and their religious leaders hate what he's saying. They absolutely hate what he's saying, which is what Christian preachers are. Christian preachers hate what you're saying for one reason and one reason only. Who knows? Okay, boy.
They hate the truth because the truth will flatten their pockets.
Exactly. You understand? Go ahead.
It's like with that, on that same note, there's a brother online Uherd Burr says, Shalom, I watched you cut that pastor up he was emotional.
Most High in Christ, that's the Lord. Give the Lord a hand for that, man. That was the Lord. The Lord brought, the Lord prepared a plate for us in front of our enemies, boy. And listen, man, I have a badass team here in DC that rock the whole thing down. The Carmaya, give him a hand. Rocking out there to pull him back from down here, putting that pastor in the ground. He'd have been called Astor after the Carmaya holding, not pastor. Because that kind of man holding on the camp. Captain Natazak Mashar was out there with us too. Can't forget him. I can't forget the two. I had to find a name for y'all. Something we had to call y'all, boy. The terror and the I'll call y'all the darkness and the shadow. I think that's it. The darkness and the shadow. Officer Bukwashi and Officer Pagaibo. I watch y'all on the tape. Y'all just looking at the pastor. He go left, y'all just going left. He go right, y'all just going right. And y'all just staying loose. I was like, boy, if they only knew. If they only knew, these soldiers here is full of the Holy Spirit and don't want to harm nobody, but we will defend ourselves. You know what I mean? Y'all give yourselves a hand. Y'all perform excellent, full of discipline. Officer Shapat, Officer Barak, Trooper Mathaya. You know what I mean? Y'all held the whole thing down and made a difference between us and them. That's the main thing. There was a difference made between us and them, and it was of the Lord. It was absolutely of the Lord. Christian pastors are only concerned with money and nothing else. They want to line their pockets. They want to fill their coffers. And the truth means that they don't get the money. The truth means that the money does not go to them anymore, right? Saying so, there was a lot of people saying that, yeah, we should not have said these things we said to him and we was too disrespectful. There's no such thing as being too disrespectful to a Christian preacher, right? And it was right in the spirit. He was slimy and disgusting as hell. Come to find out, don't you know this bastard was indicted 2 years ago for stealing elderly people's money in DC? Stole on record damn near $70,000 from elderly people in DC. You could go on the internet, look up. You could go to the Department of Justice. They had the whole indictment right there for that same pastor. So when I call him a hoe, he was a hoe because the Lord said call him a hoe. Commander Johnny Yahanna said call all them hoes because they're prostitutes and they hate being called hoes because they are hoes. A hoe never likes being called a hoe. A hoe never likes being called a hoe. They like to think they earn their money like everybody else. Like they go on the clock in 40 hours like everybody else and earn their money. But a hoe is a hoe. Right? And he's for sale for the oppressor. And that's the big thing. He's for sale for the oppressor. So we're gonna go into some more with these oppressors tonight, with these pastors tonight. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Any more questions, Bakwash?
We just had a few comments. Also, Warren said it was a place, talking about him, it was a place where people would dump bodies of people who were not buried honorably, like a mass grave. Then
could place that on the step, brother.
Shapata,
I'll check it.
Twan Pickney. And then Shakira Moses says they're all the same. You said and did right, indeed.
Most High in Christ. Listen, that's the Lord, and for sure, that's how Commander Johnny Yahanna raised us to deal with these preachers. You know what I mean? A lot of people were shocked, like how you could talk to a pastor like that. If you could see in these pastors' heads, and you could see behind the altar when they go back there and the conversations they be having, you would talk to every pastor like that. They're absolute whores for the white man. They are absolute prostitutes for our oppressor. And deep down, they hate black people. They hate black people, just like Caiaphas hated Christ, hated the disciples, hated the whole spirit of the Lord. They hate black people so much. And to them, it's the rest of us fault why their skin is not white. They kissing our oppressors behind so much, they would think that by now they would be an honorary white man. But these hard-headed niggas that shaming them every day, and with this braids and this boots and this this black Israelite nonsense, that's keeping them back from reaching Caucasian utopia. Get the point? That's really what it is. You know what I mean? And as the general say, with all this talk about the Israelites coming out now and who is the real Jew, they have to make a play. They have to, you know, they had a bluff now. They had to say, you know, I raise you one. You know what I mean? They had to put the poker glasses and just sit there and flip the coin over and put the coins out. And they had to come and bluff now because the church is about to be empty. The churches are about to be empty. A drought is coming to your altar. You get the point? So let me get Nahum 1 and 11. All right, Nahum 1 and 11. Let me know if any more questions. All right, Bakwas. All right, let me get Nahum 1 and 11.
Nahum chapter 1, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord.
Right, say it one more time.
There is one come out of thee
Mm-hmm.
that imagineth evil against the Lord.
Right, there's one that come out of thee. So what's that letting you know? Go ahead.
This one evil is coming out of us.
This is an Israelite they're talking about. This is one that comes out of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is an Israelite. What's up? Somebody out there?
There's the way to go open it up and just stay where it was at. I think it's some voices too.
No, so let's check and see her. All right. There's one that come out of thee. Right. So this here is an Israelite they're talking about. This is not Joel Osteen. This is not give me some more. Besides, who else we have besides Joel Osteen? I forget all them oppressor preachers, right? But you get the point. This is not them. This is not Jimmy Swaggart. This is not. Go ahead.
There's a brother online from Ian R. Joseph says, "Are you that guy that put that pastor in his place?"
I'm not the guy. The Lord put the pastor in his place. I was just happened to be there, brother. Listen, but I need to find out where you at, right? I need to find out where you at, brother. You know what I mean? Where you at, and make sure you tell everybody that Commanding General Yahanna taught me. Make sure you tell everybody that I learned how to put pastors in their place from him. I learned how to not have respect for them ever. And I never will have respect for them again, ever in life. You understand? I mean, wherever you at, brother, put your location so we could plug you in too, so you could learn how to deal with them pastors just like that. All right. So read it again.
Nahum chapter 1, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
A wicked counselor.
A wicked counselor. There's one that come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord. A wicked counselor. You understand? He counseling you, but he counseling you in a wicked way. He's telling you stuff to do that you ain't got no goddamn business doing. Namely, loving your oppressor, right? Wanting to kiss him in the goddamn mouth, right? You know what I mean? He's telling you stuff that is not biblical. It's not in the Bible, right? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. Thus said the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many,
mm-hmm.
yet thus shall they be cut down. When he shall pass through. Though I have inflicted thee, I will inflict thee no more.
Right? Though there be many, these pastors are absolutely many and all over the place and loped up and loped in with all kind of pastor conference and biblical this and biblical that and whatever backroom deals they be making. Though they be many, right? And they be quiet. What does that mean? Saying quiet. Go ahead.
Meaning sneaky about the wickedness they're doing?
Mm-mm.
So it's referring to how they don't speak up about.
Not that part, because they speak up, but they speak up how?
Lying.
wickedly. That's why I say they call them, they say they wicked counselors.
Right.
They do speak up, but they speak up evilly. Right? What does it mean when they're quiet? You want to try it again? Though they be quiet. Buddy? Though they be quiet. I'm going to give it to you for time's sake, all right? Quiet means they in heaven. In this meaning, like they unbothered. You get the point? Like they're living in peace. They're quiet. They're not troubled. They ain't noised. They living quiet. Right? Though they be quiet, though they be many, though they be quiet. Read it again. Whoever was reading.
Thus said the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down.
Right? Even though they be quiet and in power in their heaven and so many, so bountiful all over the place, they're going to be cut down. They're going to be one of them. That scripture where it said the stars fall from heaven? They're going to be those stars who fall from heaven. T.D. Jakes and Kraft. Eddie Long was one. Eddie Long, that scandal with Eddie Long was absolutely ridiculous. It was a ridiculous scandal where nobody would believe that he would do whatever he did. And he died like, 3 years after? 3-4 years? I think he got sick and skinny like a year or something after. Right? But he died, I think, 3 or 4 years after that whole story came out with him molesting, raping them boys, having them boys as boyfriends. Right? They're going to be cut down. Go ahead.
When he shall pass through, though I have afflicted thee.
Read a little louder, brother.
Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more.
Right? And even though he has afflicted us, he will afflict us no more. You understand? We would not have any more of we would not be so easy for them to oppress us. That's the best way I could put it. Because the oppression we face is really because of our leaders. And our leaders being incapable of handling that job. They can't handle the job, so they're not pushing back against the oppression that we face. They're not speaking against it. They're not saying anything to the person who is oppressing us. So now it's easy to oppress us because we're free game, we're open. And he's saying he ain't going to allow that to happen to us no more. Right? Let me see if we want some more here. Keep reading.
Verse 13. For now will I break his yoke I will break his yoke from thee. And I will burst thy bonds in sunder.
Right? He will break that. He will break his yoke from thee. Meaning what? What does that mean? He will break his yoke from thee. Go ahead.
Meaning you no longer will be able to be fooled by the pastor's lies. You'll be freed from his lies and his confusion. Exactly.
Like Christianity is absolute witchcraft. It's like being on a leash. It's like a dog on a leash. So now, in order for that dog to get free, you have to break the leash and simultaneously get rid of the man who holds in the leash. So that's what he's saying. He's going to break these bonds that holding us under this spell. You understand? He's going to break this thing from it. And how is he going to break this thing? By the truth coming out and them being shamed before the world. Right? They have to be shamed before the world. It's to what, brother? It's green. To what? Appreciate your diligence. All right. Give me Isaiah 30 and 1. No, Salaki, go to Jeremiah 5 and 26 first. Go ahead.
Yeah, when the truth coming out, like they quiet. You know, the Christian pastors are quiet, and like how you saying, they gotta come up with a new game plan.
Exactly, and they're quiet because they're living in heaven. They're quiet because they're living in heaven. They don't want to lose that heaven. If they say anything, they're going to end up like Kyrie. They're going to end up like Kaepernick. They're going to end up like Deshaun Jackson. They're going to end up like that if they say anything. So they have to stay quiet. They have to stay in heaven. They have to stay in their bliss. Like ignorance is bliss. That's them. That's them. They have to stay like that, or else I ain't gonna say nothing about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to say nothing more about this. Or let's stay far from that Kyrie story. Let's stay, you know what I mean? And the ones that speak out who loud, what are they saying? Like Stephen A. Smith and Shaq and them, what are they saying? They're speaking against it so that they could stay quiet. They could stay in their heaven. They could stay without bother and trouble. Go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Like that pastor this weekend, though, every time you asked him about Kyrie, he acted like that wasn't nothing to talk about.
Brother, he backed up. You saw when he went backwards? That was his allegiance to the white man. His allegiance to the white man had to, nigga, don't say shit. That was his slave spirit. And okay, the pastor is like that, but there's many of our people who have the same spirit. It's just because he's a pastor, he has certain pride in him, certain things in him where he has to respond. He has to say it, but his followers are the same. His followers are actually the same. All right, what do I want again? Jeremiah 5, 26.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 5 and verse 26.
So you might learn them again? You could go ahead and again. All right, go ahead.
For among my people are found wicked men.
Say it again.
For among my people are found wicked men.
Right? The scripture says, for among my people are found wicked men, just like what we was just going over in Nahum. You get the point? Come to find out, this pastor done stole $70,000 that we know about from elderly people. I'm thinking in his church or wherever, right? Go ahead.
Like, would it be wrong to share that article on social media?
Oh, it's in the video already. Yeah, it's a lot.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's pressed up. No, there's a few videos up. It's pressed up in there already. I was looking for the rest of it to see if he did any time, but he already said he went to jail. Right. So I don't know. Yeah, man, he could have went to jail for other shit too. I don't know. And brothers get jammed up all the damn time. But this is a hustle that he wants to do because it's easy pay. Being a Christian preacher is something so easy to do. It's like, stealing candy from a baby. Go ahead, Bakwash.
So we have a few questions and a few comments.
On topic?
The comments are on topic.
Let's hear them out.
From Terrence Monroe, much respect. So like
if you all the people type it in your comments and your questions, please put what city and state you're in. You know what I mean? Just say or just say state even, so we know where you are, so we could get you the number to call the school, so you could get in classes as well. All right, go ahead.
This from Terrence Monroe said, much respect, King. You better than me. I wanted his bootlicking head to roll down the damn street. Watch.
Oh, listen now. Listen, if I could, I know it's easy to fall into that mind, right? But I would have been no better than him. He wanted to kill everybody. He wanted to lynch me into pieces, brother. Like it was. I don't know, but that ain't what we out there for. I mean, what we out there for is to wake Israel up, including his dumb ass. You understand? Including his dumb self. So now, if it is that he get out of pocket for it. If the only thing the word of the Lord bothers is a demon. He's an absolute demon, is Satan himself, and he's full of them. So you're gonna worry about that. You're gonna face a whole ton of that. You know what I mean? Commander General Yahanna demands absolute discipline from all his soldiers. Absolute discipline, sticking to the script. Ain't no freelancing and ad-libbing out there. You stick to the script, you do exactly what you was trained to do. And that thing is just like water off our back. A lot of people watch our videos and be like, man, y'all, I don't know how y'all stay so disciplined because of Commander General Yahanna. That's why we stay so disciplined, brother. You know what I mean? And of course, the spirit of Christ and the Most High. You understand? But once again, comes back to it. Without the man to follow, you're not going to have that spirit. You could read them as scriptures you want. If there's not a man there enforcing it and pushing it, you're not gonna have that spirit. That spirit comes because you're gonna have to answer to him after. And brother, you don't want that. You'll be sitting there, they'll be playing back the tape. Hey, when did we ever do that? When did we ever say that? And you don't want none of that. So you just stay within, what you've been taught. Where we at? Still go ahead.
There was another comment.
Okay, go ahead.
It's one from Demario Brookings. I saw the video with the pastor in it, and it was awesome. Never before have I seen the truth spoken so wisely and accurate to the point where you had the pastor wanted to jump out of his skin. I immediately followed you and told my wife to do the same. God be with you. You are a true living messenger.
Most High in Christ. That's the Lord, brother. That's the Lord. That's the I.S.U.P.K and the Lord, brother. Whoever, what's his name?
Demario Brookings.
Demario Brookings. Just let me know what city and state you're in, so I could plug you in with the I.S.U.P.K there. We nationwide and worldwide. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
From Tupelo, Mississippi.
Mississippi. That's Kahan. Right, I'm gonna get you on the badass Captain Kahan from Yard, Mississippi. Who else is down there? Tazadakia, right? Tazadakia, right? You're gonna call this number for I.S.U.P.K Mississippi. Look it up online for me, Kazak, and just text me which one it is. All right, I.S.U.P.K Mississippi. Just whatever city and state you're in. Let me know as you type it in, so we could plug you in with the school closest to you. Go ahead, Bukwash.
Like there's another brother online, Omar Hashem, says, "Plug me in, fam. Rural Ohio."
Ohio. That's Officer Hadaya Allah. All right. Ohio. No, that's Napataza, right? Captain Napataza. All right. Give me 1 second. (479-685-9106). It's 479-685-9106. That's I.S.U.P.K Ohio. Right. Let me hear. Hold on 1 second. Bukwash, you type it in already? Okay, that's Ohio. Go ahead with Mississippi.
662.
Right.
812.
Go ahead.
7408.
Yeah, that's it. Right. 662. Say it again.
812. 7408.
All right. So the brother and the sister down there in Mississippi, you'll make sure you call the school. Get involved down there, man. Get involved. These preachers, they hate what we saying, but they can't talk about what we doing though.
Right.
Where was all that energy when Commander Yahanna was feeding scores of people, scores, damn near hundreds of people down there in Acuna on the border. Right. The scores of Haitians and Mexicans on the border with trucks of food when everybody was scared to cross the border in the middle of COVID. Right. Where was all that energy then? You understand? So they don't like what we say, and we don't give a damn. Right. Mississippi ain't had clean water after that damn hurricane. Where the preachers? Where the pastors? Right. Where all that energy to go down there and get water for Mississippi? I watch a documentary. Well, it could be an interview with Deion Sanders, and they talked, and he was saying that he had to bathe in the pool because there was no water. You know what I mean? There was no water. He run down the whole financial situation of Jackson State School, and he talk about the budget that these other colleges have that play them, these white colleges. And I'm talking about they dwarf his budget by got to be 400-500%. Let's say they give him 10 million. These other schools getting 100 and something million. And he had to do trips and all kind of shit with that and keep it running. Like where the pastors is then, where these leaders is then, but they have energy now because they're seeing an exodus from the damn pews. Them pews gonna be empty. And they need to be empty because when this recession comes, I'm going to need some firewood. Right. I'm going to go buy me a big axe this week from Home Depot because next year when that recession hits, all them companies preparing now for that recession at hard time. Commander Yahanna done gave the list of stuff to buy for you to have in your house because this thing is, is going bottoms up. It's going to be Ukraine in a second. It's going to be Ukraine in a second. You're going to need straight firewood, right? We good there, Bakwash? All right. Let's get Jeremiah. Was there? You said you had questions, right?
It was too good, but it was off topic.
Let me just hear them so I know what's what.
We have Gregory Zakar Lewis says, Shalom Adawan. It's like Sir Trooper Yakazaki Allah. Can I get a breakdown on the talking donkey? I can't remember the book, chapter, or verse. The word Adawan Most High Christ. I have that actually.
Okay.
And then the next one is Mr. Slick 71. Did the serpent in Genesis 3 have legs before the fall of Adam and Eve? Traditional images of the serpent shows him looking like a snake.
Okay, no sweat. I got it. The serpent had legs. The serpent was like a preacher. Yes, he's a white man. The serpent had legs before and after. The serpent, just in short, the serpent was a man. I could answer that one, and we'll save the donkey for the end of the class, and we just continue with these preachers, all right? So let's just get Genesis.
Jeremiah.
Let's get Genesis with the serpent real quick.
Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Right, biblically, what's the brother's name again? Yakazak? No, it's not him, right?
So no, that was Mr. Slick 71.
All right, brother. So so the brother who asked the question, the serpent in the Bible, the Lord personifies people like as animals, right? Come on.
I got the precept.
1 second. All right. Hold it for me. All right. He personifies people as animals, right? For instance, we are called his sheep, right? Or the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what the 12 tribes of Israel are known as, the lost sheep. You get the point? Even us today in our language, because we the Lord's people, we have a culture of saying it. We would say, man, he's a beast on the field. He's a beast on the field. It doesn't mean he transforms into some kind of creature. It's talking about the way he plays. It's a personification. It's likening, so it's calling somebody after the character of that thing because they embody it so well. They act it so well, or they become like it so well, right? Even that Marshawn Lynch was what, a running back, right? He used to play for the Raiders and the Seahawks and a ton of other teams. They used to call him beast mode because of how he would play, right? He was strong and stocky and would just keep running. No matter how much times he get hit, they would just call him beast mode. It doesn't mean he transforms like the cartoon. It just means he plays like he's an animal, right? So that characteristic that comes from the Bible. We the people of the Bible, that's how we talk. So when the Lord said, read the scripture one more time.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was the most subtle. More subtle than any beast of the field.
No, the serpent, he was more subtle than any beast of the field. The beasts of the field are people, nations. But this serpent, he was the most subtle of all the people, of all the beasts. Right now, give me that precept you're holding.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock.
Right. But stop right there. He said, my flock became prey to the beast of the field, because there was no shepherd. Not that there was no shepherd, there was a shepherd, but the shepherds are Christian preachers. Right. So it's like having no shepherd. It's like having nobody there because they ain't gonna fight for you. To be a shepherd, you have to be willing to do what?
Protect.
Yes, but that's not the answer I want. But yes, it's kind of the same thing. Something else. Something else. Dauda. Something else. All that's true. but there's something else that's really what you had to do.
It's not you have to be able to destroy who's going to come to try to destroy you.
You answer it.
You're talking about a shepherd?
As a shepherd, there's something you have to really be willing to do in order to really occupy that seat.
You have to be willing to die for your flock.
Yes. You have to be willing to die for that sheep that's going to end up in somebody's pot in a month. It doesn't make no sense, right? Sheep going to die anyway, right? Why would you protect the sheep that going to get curried in 2 months? But you have to. You're going to have to put your life on the line.
Right.
Christian preachers not doing that. They're not doing that shit. They're not doing that. You remember when Barack Obama was running for office? They had Jesse Jackson on TV, and the mic was live after they cut for advertisement. What did Jesse Jackson say? Cause that
He was, I'm trying to remember verbatim what he said. It's like
I remember it. You might be able to pull up the video. Because
Counsel, he said he's talking down towards Christian people.
Nope.
I want to cut his.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I want to cut his balls off.
Yeah, Jesse Jackson said when the mic left, he's like, yeah. First it was I believe this is a pivotal time in America. You know, black president, something. I cut break. Father, knife right now. I cut his balls off. That's what Jesse Jackson said when he thought nobody was listening. Your Christian preachers are never ever going to sacrifice their life for anybody. And then what he did inauguration night, you remember? He cried me a river, bro. He cried a river. You could see if you could pull up the picture of him or the video of him, brother. Jesse Jackson was crying like this, with an American flag in his hand. I mean, crying, big fish eye with gump mouth, just crying. And just what? A month ago, send it to him. Send it to him, please. Or tell him the name of the video. Right? A month before, he was saying he want to cut Barack Obama's nuts off. Brother, these Christians I don't know. I really think they're in the rainbow for sure. Like, they don't just get violent like, nigga, I'm going to bust the head till the white meat show. It got to be something with your ass or your balls or something. Excuse me, Salakia. It got to be some kind of violent thing. It's not a normal, nigga, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to stab you. It got to be some old, sadistic, masochist type S&M, red ball in your mouth type nonsense. Like, what the hell does balls have to do with anything? God damn. Like, was that going to stop him from being the president, or you just, right? But that's your preacher. You understand? That's your preacher. And we have no shepherds, not because there's none in existence, but the shepherds we have over us, your politicians and your preachers, are not going to sacrifice their life for nothing, for absolutely nothing. They ain't going to do it. They're not going to do it. All right. Where we at? Ezekiel, yeah, finish it off quickly. Read it again from the top.
Look at Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
As I live,
hold on, make the screen bigger. All that white stuff around it, it don't matter. Yeah, right there. Click that button. Yeah, that's it. That's him. Look at him with his finger in his mouth and the little flag, in his hand. Look at it. Look at him. And a month before, weeks before, he said he want to cut Barack Obama's balls off. He wanted to castrate a man like the oppressor. And look at him. Now, of course, them tears ain't real. Them tears is so that he don't get canceled because Barack Obama in power now. So he surround himself with white people, and he crying and his finger in his mouth, and he's really hurt. What he's hurt, come on, bring it out in the camera.
Yeah, I want to say, when he was crying that night, it was all just jealousy and just because he.
Bring it out, come on.
In the 1970s, he wanted to be president. He even what did he do? He got off his morals because at first he was against abortion, but for him to run for president, he now changed his mind And he was with abortion.
Exactly. He said he believes in a woman's right to choose. When before he was saying abortion is murder. That's what he said before. But to run for president, he believed in a woman's right to choose. Your Christian preachers are not giving up their life for anything or anyone or anybody. They'll sell anybody, once the circumstances is right and the price is right. I continue on.
Book of Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock.
Right? That's your Christian preacher. That's your Christian preacher. Your Christian preacher, he'll feed himself, not the flock. Right? That's why he got to have a indictment, boy, in DC. An indictment in DC is federal, I believe. That's that ain't no state shit. They're not that. You're going straight to the grand jury or whoever. You're going straight there. Go ahead. It's federal. Everything in DC. Listen, a ticket is federal in DC. Goddamn it. Yeah, I mean, so they feed themselves. That's who they are. To be a shepherd, you're gonna have to be willing to die for that one. Come on. Is there more on that?
Verse 28 talks about who the beast are.
Give me that. Come on.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen.
Right. So now the Lord is saying, because we didn't have a shepherd to defend us against the oppression, we shall no more be a prey to the heathen. But in verse 8, he said we were a prey to the other beast of the field. So that's letting you know the beast of the field are the nations, are the other nations. We, his sheep, the 12 tribes of Israel, we would no longer be a prey to the heathen because we don't have any shepherds, because he's going to give us shepherds. And that's the Israelite school of UPK. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come. Be a prey to the heathen. Neither shall the beast of the land devour them.
Right. Neither shall the beast of the land devour them. Neither shall these heathens that are round about them devour them. Go ahead.
But they shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid.
Right. They shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid. None shall make them afraid, meaning what? We're going to know who we are. We're going to get righteous counsel. We're going to know who we are, and we ain't going to be in fear no more. The reason why Israel is in fear with, as a nation, as a people in the world today, is because we don't know who we are. That's the reason we're in fear. That's the reason, all these protests always end the same way. That's the reason where, we can't boycott something successfully. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like also our watch says it's like if you get 1 year and 1 day in DC jail, you go to the feds.
Well, I guess that's why he thought he was so hard. You know what I mean? You're taking money from old people. You know what I mean? I guess that's why. So that's it. That's about it, right? So that's it. So the brother who asked the question in Genesis 3, when they talk about the serpent, it's not talking about a literal snake, but it's talking about a man, an actual person who was speaking to Eve, trying to convince Eve to disobey her husband and disobey the Most High, right? Trying to convince a black woman to disobey a black man and disobey their black God. I'm saying it like that because that happens today, every single day, right? When you argue with your woman in the house, that's not your woman you're arguing with. You're arguing with America. Everything she says out her mouth, she learned from Oprah or Steve Harvey or, Dr. Phil or who else? Come on. Beyonce. She learned that from the TV and the radio. You get the point? What comes out her mouth is not her feelings, but what she was told to feel. You get the point? Which is why they all do what? They all do what? They all could get in common with the same argument. They all had the same argument. Well, I think women always could come together with marital problems. They all have the same argument because it's listening to the same snake, which is the white man. You get the point? The reason why people in the world have the same problems, Zach. It's just they deal with it differently. But it's the same problems. It's the same thing going on. Let's deal with it differently. One nigga might stay in the corner and cry. The next nigga might swing her jaw. But it comes from the same root of everything. You get the point? That serpent is really the spirit of the oppressor, which is the white man. He came to Eve and told her and lied to her. That's why we call him the devil. In Revelations 12 and 9. He came to Eve and lied to her and told her she would be as a god, even greater. Go ahead.
Okay, so man, though we're dealing with, like, okay, think about the mind state of the black man, you know, under oppression, but we're dealing with these women that have, you know, these issues of you dealing with America, you're not really dealing with her personal feelings, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the best way to deal with that? You know, the more appropriate way as a black man.
Okay, there's no I don't want to say there's no. I wouldn't give you a blanket thing to deal with. Is this your woman or is this just a woman you're arguing with? Either? Well, it's different for either. Because if this is your woman, that means she became your woman in the world, and now you coming into the truth. So as you know, battling her, you have to come all the way into the truth. So you could now fully lead her into the truth. You get the point? Sometimes what happens is a brother would come into the truth having a rib in the world, and he doesn't come all the way in. He doesn't, he doesn't enlist. That's the best way I could put it. Like brothers go to Esau military and enlist, meaning they pack a bag and they go somewhere to have some devil yell at them and call them, "You scum, you worm," and shave their head and get how much phone calls a month? I don't know. I think you can't talk to your family for like the first few weeks and enlist dog. And their family does what? Oh, he's in the army. It's get accepted. But then if he's back and forth, if he's not there or he's there and he coming home and what are you? It's you have to go you got to enlist in the UPK. You are enlisting the Lord. You get the point? And be stone cold UPK. Really, half of the time, the arguments come from a response. She might say something, and because you ain't fully in or you ain't fully matured in the truth, you might respond a certain way. Then you let some winters pass, and you let you get some check-ins up in here. She says something, your response might be different, and she would respond different. You get the point? You mightn't respond at all. You might be like, "What you say?" "Yeah, we'll deal with that tomorrow." Or you might have to let loose the BITCH on her, and she'll, yield. She'll yield. What did you just say? I said, and she'll yield after a while. It's different, but really it is you the head of the home. You understand? You the head of the home. We have a saying in the Caribbean called the fish rots from the head. When a fish starts to rot, it rots from the head. If you have to fix anything, you have to fix the head. You get the point? No, you could come all the way in and be all the way on fire and ready and totally mature. I'll come and say it, Bakwash. Totally mature and everything, and she could just be a no good, disgusting bitch. But you'll win because you are stone cold man. You get the point? You that type of person. Go ahead, Bakwash.
There's a question on topic.
Go ahead.
It's from Twan Pickney. He first said, "Great question." He says,
"What city and state you're in, Twan Pickney? Make sure you type that in too. All right. Go ahead."
He says, "If she doesn't follow you, do you let her go?"
No. Your children disobey you. Do you put them on the side of the street? No. All right then. Your children is your flesh, right? That woman is your flesh too.
Right.
You become one. She could disobey you. That's your wife. That's the lesson of a bad choice. That's what I would say to you. You can't let her go. The marriage is over, except the marriage lasts forever except for adultery. Right? Only adultery would give you the right to divorce the woman. All right, adultery meaning she had to go sleep with another man, and don't push her to do it either. You know, some of y'all be yikewab. Your lady hold bait down. Go ahead.
It's like I want to say, okay, so in that type of scenario where you're not letting her go, but you're telling her to move out of the same residence that y'all live, y'all cohabiting together. I mean, is that letting her go, or
okay?
She might take it that way.
When what other way is she gonna take it? There's like some of y'all be forgetting Eve is a person too, and all. She just got breasts and have a period, but she's a human being just like you. You get the point? If you know you have a rift with your parents and you arguing with them and they tell you move out, what do you think? Pagaiwa?
So like I said, at first you would think that the parent doesn't love you because you're not getting your way.
All right then. Go ahead.
But then once you settle down and actually think about what your parent did.
Okay, that's a man's conclusion. A man thinks like that. A woman be 20 years later and hurt that she was kicked out.
That's right.
You get the point? Her mind is not the same because of the context and how it happened. It happened under duress. It happened under, conflict. Go ahead.
Yeah, concepts like that because mostly men do think logically and women think emotionally. Like they would hold on to that feeling instead of
men roll in the moment for the most part. Men is like, okay, well, this is what's on the table. This is what I do. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother. Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right. Come on.
The brother replied he's from Charlotte.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte that's North or South?
North.
That's North Carolina. Take this number for Charlotte. What's his name? Twan Pickney. 240-408-2034. Right? Take this number for Charlotte, North Carolina. 240-408-20. Hold on, you tie me up there. You asked me to repeat this shit. God damn. Yo, slack, yeah. 240-408-2034. I know I had it right, but why you trying to fuck me up? You sort of squint and look at me like I talk in some other language. 240-408-2034. All right? This was Charlotte, North Carolina. Make sure you call the school. Get in class ASAP, man. Get in class. All right? So that's what happened with Eve. It was a man speaking to Eve, lying to Eve, deceiving her. The reason we call the white man the devil is because he's a deceiver. He deceives everybody. You can get Revelation 12:9. That's your precept for why we call him the deceiver. It's not because of the horns or the red skin. It's because he lies. He lies about everything. Right? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
And the great dragon was cast out.
Mm-hmm.
That old serpent.
Right? The great dragon was cast out. That old serpent. Go ahead.
Called the devil.
Called the devil. That old serpent. Where's that serpent from? From Genesis. But by the time it got to Revelations, that serpent grew into a dragon. A dragon does what? Fly, from what you know. Fly in the sky. A big beast that flies in the sky and breathes fire. Our oppressor has, we call it aerial superiority. That's what separates him from everybody else. His ability to fly in the sky and drop bombs on nations. In Vietnam War, they dropped napalm, literal fire from the sky. And they would paint like a beast on the front of the planes with a mouth open and go down there and drop fire on nations just like a dragon. But he was once a serpent. He was, even America, before they became the United States, the 13 colonies was in the shape of a serpent called Don't Tread on Me. You ever see that Virginia plates? Don't tread on me with the snake. That was American in its inception. The snake. But now that snake is a dragon. Go ahead, Shapat. Might need it out. I think this one is Tawar because I want the devil more so in this one. Tawar. Go ahead.
And Satan was deceiving the whole world.
Right? He was called the devil and Satan because he deceived the whole world. right? This serpent initially was a deceiver. And before he got to deceive the whole world, he deceived one person first, your woman. Right. He deceived your woman first. She's the weaker vessel. He deceived her, and Adam himself, being weak, listened to her. And thus he deceived the whole world. You get the point? So the brother who asked the question about the serpent is not a snake. The serpent is actually a man. Just like how they call 6ix9ine a rat. It doesn't mean he lives in the sewers and eats cheese. He's a man that did something that you liken to that creature called a rat. It's just about survival. Well, this man, he did something like a snake, low down and dirty in the earth. Just low down and dirty and lying and deceitful, and you can't trust him. He's a snake. That's why he was called a serpent. It's not a animal. It's a man, specifically the white man, our oppressor. He's a liar. He lies about every goddamn thing. Even his commercials is a lie. All them commercials with, RBs and McDonald's and shit, that shit ain't even real food they're showing you on the damn TV. That shit is plastic and, soap and, milk and all kind of nonsense they're putting up there. That shit ain't even real food. The heat from the food is something else. I couldn't believe it. Come on.
It's like something's false feed or something, and it smokes.
It's smoke. I think it's smoke. Dry ice. And they have this shit looking like it's actual steam coming off the food, and it's dry ice, brother. This is why he's a liar. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a lot, and cereal commercials. That's not milk. That's glue. That's Elmer's glue.
That's why it looked like that. It looks so, good. He's a liar. All right, let's get back to that was it, Bakwash. So that's it for the serpent. I'll get back to the one with the donkey in the end. All right. Give me Jeremiah 5:26 real quick. Jeremiah 5:26. Somebody else hold Isaiah 30:1. All right, let's go.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
Right? That's your Christian preacher. Wicked men. For among thy people are found wicked men that lay in wait and set trap. Like that preacher from Saturday, boy, that pastor, he embodies every pastor scripture in the Bible. Every single one. You read it, it's him. Right? He lay in wait, trying to set a trap, trying to destroy men. That's what he really want to do. Keep going. Right? They set snares and a trap. And that snare is what? Love everybody. Because love everybody feels how? What does it feel like? It feels comfortable. It feels safe. It feels in your mind, if you love everybody, everybody would love you. So now the love is reciprocated in your mind. But that's not the reality, though. The reality is you love everybody and everybody despises you. Right. That's the reality of life. But that's the trap. Go ahead.
This world's love is acceptance. Like everybody want to be accepted.
Everybody wants to be accepted, but at what cost, though? Everybody wants to be accepted, but at what cost? And accepted by who? Say again? You should want to be accepted by God, but not everybody wants to be accepted by God. Majority of people don't. Majority of people do not give a damn what the Lord think. Majority of people do whatever the hell they want. Majority of people want to be accepted by the oppressor. Want to be accepted by the oppressor and will trade everything for the acceptors, for the oppressors, not even acceptance, but his acknowledgement. Just for the oppressor to look at them and say, good boy. Kanye West went up to Donald Trump and talked for 2 hours and said how Donald Trump was like his daddy. You remember that? Say how he didn't have his father and Donald Trump was like his father and Trump was just nodding and nodding. Trump didn't talk much. And Kanye West felt good. Felt great, actually. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like talk about Kanye or some of these so-called celebrity stars. It's like they're willing to give up their dignity just for the acceptance of that group that they want to be a part of, and to keep the check too.
Listen,
they want to, they could just care less about they self-worth or how they feel towards their brothers too.
I would agree with you if I thought that they knew what dignity was. I don't even think they even know what that shit is. I think they just think, it's normal to just bend over and just sell yourself. Go ahead.
Stock, so I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Stock, like, I definitely want to know, why do Kyrie and Kanye, why do they do this knowing that they didn't heard this from I.S.U.P.K since 1969?
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell did they think that they just gonna go out there and say this and there wouldn't be any backlash?
Okay, I think they know it was coming. Backlash was coming. Kanye for sure knew it. He didn't care. Kyrie for sure knew it. He didn't give a damn. Right? Okay, this is what you want. This is what you want to set your mind to. Don't worry about why they do it. And if they did it. The wave coming. Are you going to maximize or are you going to just watch the wave go by? That's what you want to think. You want to think, listen, good. Keep talking, nigga. Tweet something else. Tweet a shield. Tweet something else so this thing could just snowball and keep going. Can't you just come out and say something else now? Do something else, offend somebody, get banned from Instagram. I don't know. I don't care. Do something else, right? Just do it so Israel would wake up. Somebody shared a post today. Some girl saying, what Kyrie been telling you all, them niggas on Gallery Place been telling you all for years. I'm like, shit, goddamn, people actually so y'all do listen. It's just, the messenger is the problem. You get the point? Ain't no problem, man. The Lord gonna pour out this. He said it, he'll pour out his spirit in the last days on everything living. Everything moving, everything, everything. They're gonna start just talking more now, just uncontrollably, and that's it. It's the Lord moving everything. Go ahead.
Like so you said so heavy on the way here. I was on the phone with my younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
and like if anybody don't know, I don't really talk to my family at all like that. So he called me. He texted me earlier. He was like, hey, you get a chance.
You see that when you get a chance, that's like the yeah.
We was on the phone the whole time. I drove down to class. And to the point where I had to sit in the car for about 5 minutes
to finish off the counsel.
He was like, I just want to apologize. He went off and let him talk. He was like, he was angry. He was talking. He's like, yeah, but I just want to apologize to you because he was like, I believe what you believe, but I just, it's like for me it was a delivery. But he's like, now I see why.
Listen now. Listen now. Because like you got to feel like so vindicated now, like I wouldn't even tell him that. I would have just sat there and just been like, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I don't even say shit to him now, but that shit there does something to you because to be an officer in the UPK is extremely difficult. We're professionals, so we make it look easy, but it's an extremely difficult undertaking. Think about all the things you sacrifice to be in here. Every brother who's an officer up in here coming through, even for a trooper, it's an insanely difficult thing. Sisters up in here, so you sacrifice so much, lose much, go through so much, turmoil and pain and shit like that. And to have some dude in the world who would curse you all before come and say, man, I just want to say I was sorry about what you're saying. I really agreed with you, but that's enough for me. You agreed with me, but what, nigga? Nothing. You didn't agree with me, but now you realize I was telling the truth. Pay homage, nigga. Pay homage. No. That's the Lord. That's glory to the Lord. So it's good to witness something like that happening. I hope everybody gets to, I'm waiting on my call out. I think I done piss everybody off. Ain't nobody calling me to say sorry about nothing. They might call y'all. Ain't nobody calling me, and I like it like that. Shit. But when I was telling you all about this, you all was, shut up. You're just going through a phase. Phase what, nigga? Go ahead.
This might happen amongst the Wadium, the Akim, those I see you messages.
in the Facebook because they thought we was crazy at first, but now they're gonna be like, hey,
I see you. Yeah, all that. We'll take all that. I'll rock with that. Come on, I'll come to you, Shabbat. Go ahead.
So there's a comment online from Clyde Marshall. It says, Shalom, I met you in Chicago several years ago at Rainbow Beach. Candace Owens spoke up for Kyrie, and Jason Williams said, I do not care if I lose my job. I'm with Kyrie.
Oh yeah, I heard some brother said something about Kyrie. Go ahead.
He works for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there for a couple of years. You know, he's famous amongst them and with Stephen A. and them brothers like that, Shannon Sharp. They all work
for the oppressor.
Yeah, he worked for the oppressor in sports. So, and this morning, today or yesterday, he went live and was like, "Look, okay, Kyrie Irving trying to find his heritage now." As far as the film, those things that they said about the Holocaust being fake, okay, I would have reworded it another way, but I'm not going to, get these requirements I'm doing to have them come back and come work. I'm not standing for that. I don't care if I lose my job.
Damn. Who's that, Jason Williams?
Yeah, his name is, I shared it on Facebook. His name,
he's the one who's the president of the Players Association?
I'm not sure.
I read something with the Players Association, the leader, the head of it, or one of the members coming out and saying they ain't standing with them requirements.
Right.
They say it's emasculated.
Okay, no, yeah, Stephen A. Stephen A. Last week Stephen A. was saying, Kyrie, you teaching people how to lose money.
Right.
But now this week, Stephen A. is saying, okay, the requirements, y'all just trying to.
Cause he a hoe.
Right. Y'all trying to emasculate. Now you're trying to emasculate Kyrie Irving.
He's a hoe. Let me tell you why not the Jason guy, because he didn't say nothing against them first.
Right.
But that Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith, the reason they're coming out now and saying it's too much is personal. Anybody knows why?
Is there other black people saying it now? Or
sit out there, they're a hoe because they have to say it because they just switched out their race to get paid by the white man.
That's true, but there's a reason they're saying it. This thing will set a precedent if Kyrie does it. It sets a precedent for high-profile Negroes, which means they can't slip up and say shit in the future again, or else they'll have to do that same thing. So now they had to come and be like, that's too much. Not because they support Kyrie, but they's like, hold up. I had to give $500,000 and do what? So I can't say nothing else in the future about nothing? They had to watch this up. That's why they're coming out and saying something. Come on.
It's so heavy, the whole conversation about how, like you said, the girls tweeted about the do's and don'ts place been saying this for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talking about it, and the Lord is bringing it out and make everybody talk about it. But that's just the half of what we say. We say the Jews are black, Latino, Native American, but we also say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Well, listen, Aki, this is what you had to understand, right? This is where seasoning comes in. Take what you get and run with it. Do you understand? Take what you get and run with it. That's what you had to do. Take what you get and run with that shit. That's a soldier, brother. That's a soldier. You might just get, a 12 gauge with one magazine and a knife. What are you going to do? Stand there and be like, I ain't got enough? You better get to killing before you get killed. Take what you get. Don't worry about that part. And once again, they in the world. What you want them to do your job? I don't want them saying that too much. That's this thing here they're doing here. I wasn't too accepting of this shit. I'm gonna tell you straight up. But I see the power in having one of them say something, because it pastes over Israel. It makes Israel feel a certain way. Now they're more receptive to listen. Now I could say the white man is the devil and they'll hear it. You understand? I'll say it, they'll hear it, because that's my job to say it. That's not their job to say that. Their job is to tweet all them little dumb movies and make all these little conscious quotes. And, the Jews are melanated. I'll take all of that shit out. Mm-hmm. The Jews always been melanated, Asiatic man. Oh, good. Give me that. I'll make I'll make $1 million out of a penny with that shit. You get the point? But don't now start to, upbraid what they're doing by saying, well, he ain't say the white man's the devil. That's Go ahead.
It's like, no, I ain't talking about like Kyrie and them saying that the being as they're even talking about it, they may pay attention to the fact that we also say the white.
I get you, but saying that is saying that they're not saying it. You understand? That's what you're saying. Like, okay, but they ain't saying the other half of what we say. They need to. They don't need to. They're good. Go ahead.
Slide here, if I could. Just even when I just literally first started listening to the I.S.U.P.K, I never. It was no talking points about it, sloppy that I heard, but now the talking points now is what everybody is saying now. What I.S.U.P.K been saying since 1969 under command of Yahanna, and I never knew that it would literally be on the platform that what it is now.
Oh, it's gonna get bigger. You're gonna have your whole mind blown open now. This shit is going to get bigger, brother. It's going to get bigger. This shit ain't going nowhere now. Go ahead, because
someone online said Clyde Marshall said Jaylen Brown is his name. He plays for the Boston Celtics. He is the vice president of the Players Association.
That's the one I saw.
He and many other basketball players are signing with Kyrie.
Yeah, this thing probably could turn into a lockout.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's two different ones. It's one Jay Williams. Jay Williams is a.
He's a former player.
He's a former player. But
I know that one.
He's not. Jaylen Brown. He actually is playing right now for the Celtics.
Okay.
He's still like in his mid-20s.
He's a player.
Yeah, he's a player, but that NBA union, the NBA union is now standing for Kyrie Irving.
Once again, precedent. Them niggas know that if they let this shit slide, they'll do this to everybody. Everything. So they had to come up. Come on, last one, brother. We gotta get back into this class.
I've definitely been watching the numbers on the views on Black Watch, and there are a lot more people watching Black Watch now.
Good.
It's ever been.
Good. We'll say the white man's the devil. You get the point? We'll say it now that they're watching. You know what I mean? Give me Isaiah 30:1.
It's like it's a long ass comment saying why are we so adamant about calling them Jewish, and we should learn more about African stuff.
Read it out.
It's someone on his name is Musanda Ruben Olango. Why are y'all so adamant about being called Jewish? Our original religion of the ancestors is not vested in Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. You are so brainwashed.
All right, stop right there. Just tell me where you from, Mwanga, and just tell me where you actually from, where your people from, your parents and stuff like that. Just tell me where your people from. And just for the record, we don't want to be called Jewish. We are the real Jews. The Jews are black. We Jews by blood. We're not Jewish. We're not ish anything, right? We are the real Jews. Not that we don't. It's not a question of us wanting to be called Jews. We are the Jews. You get the point? So before I even respond to it, just tell me where you're from, where your people and them from. All right. Give me Isaiah 30:1, 1 through verse 3. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right. What does that say? Good guy, boy.
Woe to the rebellious children, the destruction.
So, Nakama. Go ahead and put that boy.
Destruction to the lost tribes of Israel, because we didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us in the first place. So we will be destroyed by not following the law, statutes, and commandments. Saith the Lord.
Come read it again from the top.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Woe to the rebellious children. That's a destruction to the children that are not following the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's not the one that's in the seat. That's not going to work. Go ahead, continue on.
Counsel, saith the Lord.
So anybody know what this one is talking about? Go ahead,
sir. It's speaking of Israel. It says children,
we are the Lord's children. The Lord called, the Lord calls us his flock, his children, his chosen.
Right.
And us taking protection or guidance from anybody but the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what we do today. That's exactly what we do today, where as though, you know what I'm saying, that's why we're being destroyed. If you don't know why black people are the poorest, we're the most taken advantage of, and we're the most confused, it's because we have been destroyed by believing in our oppression and by believing in America. You get what I'm saying? Like we believe, like, so just like now, like at the I.S.U.P.K, we are speaking on the streets, and because most black people are Christian by faith, what we say sounds foreign, it sounds wrong to them, it sounds too rough. Whereas though the I.S.U.P.K, we have been teaching the truth, and what we've been learning, and what black people have been learning is a lie. Somebody pick up where he was at. Shalom, your star.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit.
What that mean?
Oh, so now if I could, it means that they're not. The Lord, what the Lord is saying to do is to help you, to cover you, but
what is it? What is the covering of a covering?
Sloppy, would it be like his counsel, his sloppy, his laws, statutes, and commandments?
What was that?
Isaiah 30, chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2.
Verse 2. Right? We're here. What were you saying, brother?
Sloppy, sir. I was saying that would it be the law, statutes, and commandments that is the covering?
That would be the covering, right? The Lord's Spirit, right? Taking on His Spirit. You take on His Spirit by what? By doing what He say to do. Doing what He say to do, you start taking on His Spirit the way He thinks, what He likes, what He dislikes. You start doing that. You start to develop His character, right? Verse 2. Give me verse 2.
That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth.
Right? Woe to the rebellious children that walk to go down to Egypt, but have not asked at the mouth of the Lord. Meaning what? Who knows? Go ahead.
Meaning how we go and get advice and beg our oppressor for help. We go and vote like yesterday. A lot of black people voted. They had their stickers. I voted, and they think it's going to make a change in the black community. But it's not. We really got to go to the Most High and follow His laws and obey Him to really get change in our communities. Instead of, and we got to see, and that's an example of us asking for Egypt for help, our oppressor for help, and not asking at the Most High's mouth. Where's the
That's it. Is us now turning to the oppressor, thinking he can help us. You understand? Which is what every Christian preacher does. Every preacher loves the white man so much, loves our oppressor so much, and they think showing that love will make the oppressor, I don't know, look at them like they're, any better. I don't understand it. Woe to them that go down to Egypt. Woe to them that look to the oppressor for any help, because there ain't no help to get from them. Go ahead. You go ahead, Art.
Yeah. So I guess could the precept where David, was on when he was on the run, and he asked the Lord, he make inquiry at the Lord, concerning with the heathen. If he could stay around them, but he let him know, don't do that. So it's basically, don't really, as you make mention, going down, as you say, that walk down into Egypt and not acts of my mouth. Because again, you want to, as you say, like you want to join them. But now you joining them now could bring, you to your knees. Could, as I say, the higher the knee and the neck at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely it. They going to join them means you are taking up your place as a slave.
Right.
But to the Christian, it doesn't look like they're a slave. It doesn't to them. They don't see it like they're a slave. They see it like joining the empire for a good seat.
Right.
That's what they see. They join the empire for a good seat, for a nice life, for a quiet life. Like the scripture we read first with being quiet. They want that peace when there's no peace. How can you get peace when there is no peace? That's in the Bible. So that's it. They go down to Egypt for help when there is no help to get from Egypt. That's
right.
a Christian preacher. Right? Please,
this weekend, as we were, down there teaching the truth and Bible live, there was also a protest for like a little gathering, a big gathering for reparations. And once again, you know what I'm saying, they had a lot of like little black leaders come down and talk about, and black people gathered together talking about reparations and just had a big speech about it. But that's us asking the oppressor for help. If they give it, they give it. But the Lord, if he actually his mouth, the Lord will give us the world, and that reparations is something much, much bigger, which is authority over the earth.
That's it. And once again, reparations comes from who? No, well, so let me rephrase it. The whole idea of getting reparations, where does that come from? No. Okay, the whole idea of us getting reparations, where does that come from?
Oh, it's like it comes from the pressure, but I think that it comes from taxes.
No.
I feel like we owe something.
Black leaders?
Yeah. Comes from your preachers. Makes sense. Like, okay, black people think, this is what we think as a people. We think that if the oppressor gives us reparations, you're going to get a check. That's not how it's going to happen. They're going to give it to your leaders so your leaders could set up the infrastructure for you. That's what's going to be worded because it's federal money. It's going to be, this is for that. It's not the stimulus for the whole of America's economy. It's reparations for these black people economy. So what we're going to do, just give it to them and they're going to squander it and they're going to keep complaining. No, let's give it to Al Sharpton. That's where your reparations going. That's where your 40 acres and your mule going. And you'll never see a penny of it.
I was going to say, if I could, if they want to give any type of money for the Savior to happen, give it to Commander Jenny Yahanna.
That's what they should do. That's what they should do. Get it out of hand. That's what they should do. But if reparations do come, who you think get it? All that money that America pays to the state of Israel, the Jewish man every year, how much $billion? 2-point-something billion or 3-point-something billion every year. You think that going to each individual house in Tel Aviv? No, that goes to the government, man. Right? When they send money to Ukraine, you think that going to every Ukrainian living in a bridge or some burnt out house? No, that goes to Zelensky. It goes to the leadership. Reparations is going to go to your leaders. It's not going to go to you. You'll never see it, just like you ain't going to see it from them. And that's just how it's going to be. You get the point? Where we are? Verse 3. Who's reading? Dauda or young man? Go ahead. Verse 3. Isaiah 30:3.
Therefore, shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
All right. Therefore, the strength of it's gonna be our shame, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt gonna be our confusion. And that's your Christian preachers. Your Christian preachers, they push us to the oppressor, and when the thing don't work out, they try to spin it around after we don't follow through listening to them, and now we turned around. Now we ashamed, we confused, we don't have the help that we thought we would get from the oppressor, but it comes from because our leaders push us towards them, push us in that direction. And now when it don't happen, well, what do they say? The Lord works in mysterious ways. You had to have patience, all in God's time. It wasn't God's time yet. Or they convinced the families to take some money from somebody without, pressing the charge. So this person has to go to jail for whatever crime they do against us. Your leaders is who does that. Your leaders is who come and brokers a deal on behalf of your oppressor, right? Come on.
two things. Like that's the same thing. Like how they say our oppressor, be ashamed. Like us believing in Barack Obama. Like I remember when he first came, I was in high school and black people were so excited when he won. My mother called me excited. Barack Obama won. He won. So, brother, black people as a whole, we celebrated. I remember people getting Barack Obama tattoos on their neck and all that. And he's out of office, and now we're angry with Barack Obama and come to see he has done nothing for black people. See, and it was pastors. It was the one at Union Temple, Reverend Willie Wilson. That's my father's family pastor, right? Famous in Southeast, right? And in the beginning, years and years ago, 30 years ago, he was more revolutionary. But now, I'm saying, he had ballots in his vote ballots in his basement of the church. Damn. Because he wouldn't and this is the thing. This is how you made my father get into it. It's a DVD where Reverend Willie Wilson saying that Obama is wicked. And 3 years later, after he said Obama is wicked, he had Obama's second term. He had the voting booths in his basement. And I'm asking, I got my meter on. I'm asking the pastor, so what's going to happen? He said, y'all got to vote. Y'all got to vote for Barack Obama. I said, what's going to happen if Obama don't win? Right. And he didn't have no answer. He just said, he kept saying, y'all got to vote. Y'all got to vote. He only get paid for that much. God. That's what it is. He got paid just to say that part. You ask him that question there, that shit don't compute. That shit ain't adding up in the budget. The budget ain't it don't cover him asking all of that. You know what I mean? Dawda, you had your hand up. Somebody pulled the scripture from me where I think it's Zechariah. I could be wrong. Where he'll be against the pastor's strong hand and his right. No, I have it here. Salakia. I got it. Tawada. Salakia. Dawda, you had your hand up? Okay, no sweat. Pause right there. Give me Zechariah 11 and 17. Oh, God. Zechariah. In fact, give me 15. Start at 15.
Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 15. Mm-hmm. And the Lord said unto me, take unto thee yet the instruments of a foolish shepherd. Mm-hmm. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that standeth still. But he shall eat the flesh of the fat and tear their claws in pieces.
Read it one more time.
Oh, God. And the Lord said unto me, take unto thee yet the instruments of a foolish shepherd. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land.
What are the instruments of a foolish shepherd? Go ahead.
It's like I made the money. I'll probably say the money.
Not the money so much, because the money is, the money so much. Shapat?
Philosophy.
I'll take that. Go ahead. Now, what are you going to say?
I was thinking about an actual shepherd, but then they had like the hook to then defend. But
okay, but that's okay. That hook would not be a foolish shepherd.
Right, exactly.
That would be a real shepherd. Yeah. Right? You had Yahanna?
So yeah, I was gonna say it's mouthful is action.
What do our pastors today encourage us to do? Vote. What else? That's true, but not like voting. They don't go out and say break God's law, but they do say go vote. Go vote. There's something else.
Love our enemies.
Teach us to love our enemies.
They encourage us to be like heathens.
How?
Because they want us to do everything.
Not why. How? How do they do it?
They do it through social media. Do everything that we do now. So like, I'm not talking about the brothers in the school, but they do it through social media, through internet.
Okay, you tell them you. That's true. Something else. Go ahead.
Celebrate pagan holidays, have Christmas and even Halloween at their church and stuff like that.
All that, but there's something else that goes right along with the voting. That's true too. The civil rights movement. That civil rights whole thing with the voting, that damn near is 80% of the Christian church. Civil rights and voting, right? And that's how they encourage us to be like the heathen, because civil rights benefited the heathen more than it benefited us. You get the point? Those are the instruments of a foolish shepherd, right? Read this again.
Zechariah chapter 11, verse 15. And the Lord said unto me, take unto thee yet the instruments of a foolish shepherd. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that standeth still. But he shall eat the flesh of the fat, and tear their claws in pieces.
Right, that's what he's saying. Like, consider the tools of a foolish shepherd. Consider all the voting and the civil rights and the this bill and that bill and the police bill and more. Defund the police. Right. Let's defund the police. Now, when everybody getting shot in DC as they going and buy groceries, you're getting a bullet for everything you buy. Now, what they asking for? Bring the police back. That's the tools of a foolish shepherd. And he's saying the Lord gonna raise up one that is not going to look after Israel. Right. Is not going to look after those who sick, to make them, to heal those who sick, to mend the broken, to feed the poor, and to restore. But these pastors are going to feed off of Israel, feed off of the fat of Israel. You get the point? Go ahead.
Woe to the idle shepherd.
Say it again.
Woe to the idle shepherd.
Say it again.
Woe to the idle shepherd.
Go ahead.
That leaveth the flock.
Right, that leaveth the flock. What does it mean when you say that leaveth the flock?
Abandon them.
Abandon them. Yeah, give them some more.
Like as far as lifting protection.
Say again.
Lifting protection or be treacherous.
No, what you said there was first, the right time. They abandon them in a time when they need protection. That's when they say that leave the flock. Like you leave, like you see this danger coming, and you go the opposite way. Say, woe to the idle shepherd. You get the point? The idle shepherd. And why is that heavy? Why they call it an idle shepherd?
They only worry about themselves.
A little more.
He does nothing. He doesn't want.
Not idle. That's idle. Like your car is idling. That's idle. Idol, like idol worship.
You say ideal?
No, idol, like idol worship.
Because they count them.
Because idols are nothing. Like they're vain.
That's true, but there's another thing for idols too. Yahanna? Anybody?
It's like idol shepherd. It's like a could. The shepherd, there is no shepherd. There is no one to lead the flock.
No, he just said he's going to raise up a shepherd to do all these things. So there is one. There's one who is in the seat. But he's the idol shepherd.
The idol shepherd, the idols of our heathens. Like they're the gods of others.
They're the only one that disables?
No, there's the idols. Like, okay, you see like American Idol? Why does it call American Idol? Why is there a winner of American Idol? Meaning like they have a competition to get America's Idol.
Right. I mean, American Idol was the next person supposed to be the next star or
the next star. What are our shepherds?
All of them just want to be stars.
Stars. TD Jakes, Mega Pastor TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar. Farrakhan, that fool from Saturday, he's an idol shepherd. They want to be an idol. That's who we have as leaders. You get the point? Not somebody who actually want to get down and do the work that he described, but he want to be a star. He want to be an idol. So woe to the idol shepherd. The one, and people do what? People look at this shepherd or this preacher like Daniel, like he's God. Remember, they built a statue. How much that statue cost? How much million? 46 million or something? I could be close now around for maybe 4 point something million. How much they give them Chinese to pay to build that statue of Martin Luther King down there anymore? It was some millions. Well, I remember it's some Chinese fucking architect that and some Chinese company that chiseled everything down. It was a few million they spent on that Martin Luther King statue. You understand? Like our leaders have become idols. Like people pray to the preacher. Preacher said, that's the argument in your house. But Pastor so-and-so said this. I'm gonna cook this food for Pastor so-and-so. Go ahead.
$120 million.
God damn, I wasn't far off. $120 million they spent to build that statue of Martin Luther King down there anymore. That ugly statue that looked nothing like it.
Wow, Flint still don't got water.
Flint still don't got no water.
It's not so good. There are literally still black people out here that still love Martin Luther King.
Brother, you could get into a fight
Uh-huh.
for speaking against that idol shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Bible is saying, woe to the idol shepherd. And everybody had these idol shepherds. All 12 tribes got them. You got them on the reservation, you got them in the barrios. You get the point. Them Hispanic tribes they got you know pastors that are mega and famous and like Houdini. You get the point? Come on quickly.
If I could, my mother and my her aunts, which is her sisters, they said, well, he didn't know that it was going to be like this and this and that. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter what he knew.
Well, he did know. He said it. He said it on tape that he joined his people to a burning house and he can't do nothing about it now. That nigga did know. This is the more important thing. Mommy, auntie, you know. You ain't making no change. That nigga done dead. But you know what he did was off. What the hell you doing? Right? Let's finish off this one. Read it again from the top.
Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock.
That leaveth the flock. And when danger coming, they're nowhere to be found. Remember Al Sharpton went down there when they killed Michael Brown? And then had to leave because nobody wanted to talk to him anymore. Because he done sold out the young boy. The young boy who was the witness noticed they wasn't taking his testimony no more. Because he done talk about how the young boy had this criminal record and blah, 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 blah. All right? He had to leave out from there. They didn't want him no more. Go ahead.
The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened.
What is this talking about? Right, read it one more time.
Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened.
All right. What are we talking about? The sword shall be upon his right arm and his right eye. His right arm shall be utterly dried up, and his right eye shall be darkened.
It's like it's referring to his might, like his eye, right eye, meaning the things that his.
Let's start with the arm, because that's what it starts with. It was the arm. The sword shall be upon his arm.
Right, his might. His strength. Like, and then we watching it now, like that whole generation, civil rights generation, are taking a back seat now to watching what's going on, and nobody, like you said, they chased Al Sharpton out. Like they can't rely on their might and their names how they used to.
Yeah, it's not happening no more. It's not happening no more for them. Their might and power, their reach, is getting shorter. That strong arm they had, like taking a strong arm in a fight. At one time, them churches, bro, they say something. Yeah, that's it. There was a fear for when the churches come around. You know what I mean? There was a fear for it. No, that shit don't matter. You could buy one of them niggas like a hoe, like a good prostitute. You drop a suitcase, that hoe gonna shake. You gonna shake it. Go ahead.
You said so heavy, sir. That's what that pastor's wife thought was going to happen. That's why she even called him pastor, and with the idea that
he's a pastor. Oh, she didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't read the instructions. She went to Target, opened the box, and plugged the shit in. You had to read the instructions, sis. But I ain't gonna say too much about his rib because she was more righteous than him. She was more righteous than him. She told him words of wisdom. You're wrong. You don't know what you're doing. You're making people who don't know what's going on get even more lost. I thought she'd have said it to us, but she turned it back to us and checked in. I was like, damn. God damn. Lord forbid some shit like that ever happened to me. God damn. God damn. I listen, I had to cover my head in class and sit like this. It's like, cover my head. I'll see you, brothers. I'll be like, Yashua, brother, she checked him where he just stopped and he. I was like, God, what the fuck just happened? Shit, go ahead.
It's heavy how you called him the ball because even when you said to her, "Is the white man the devil?" She's like, "You know the white man is the devil."
You said, "You know he the devil." Of course he the devil. Of course he the devil. But of course he can't say it. He can't say it because he's a prostitute, right? And the sword is going to be against him and the other preachers, all the Christian preachers. Their strength is going to get hunger bitten, right? And their right eye is talking about what?
It's like, is it? I don't want to sound philosophical. What they, not the knowledge that they know, but what's the word? Their direction, like where their whole where they're going. Like they don't have. Like there's no direction of the church. At one point, the church had the committees, strength where they would tell you, like, look, this is what we're gonna do. Like it's that right eye, that strong eye is where they're gonna be seeing to do different things. But that eye gonna be darkened, meaning what?
I was gonna say sloppy. Would it be the judgment be on?
You could say that too. You could say that.
It'll be blind.
Not so much blind. Something else. It's going to be darkened.
The question is: this a prophecy? Or this is just
at the time it was written, it was a prophecy, but we live in it. We live in it right now.
So the Christian church it always had a blind eye, but now it's literally like they letting homosexuals in the choir.
Now you're onto it. The eye being darkened. What's the opposite of their eye being darkened? Their eye is full of light. If the eye was full of light, what would they be doing?
Following the Lord's commandments.
So now that the eye darkened, what are they doing?
Not following the Lord's commandments.
So whose commandments they following?
Satan.
Basically, they follow their own, which is why their lust and stuff gonna come into play now. Which is why Eddie Long took them boys. Which is why they let the homosexuals on the choir. Which is why that preacher in Detroit cussed his congregation out for not buying him that watch. Their eye is darkened now. Now it's like they become way more carnal than what they were before. You get the point? They carnal to the point where like, ain't it supposed to be a preacher? Like that's what everybody's asking now. Well, damn, preacher man, and he's a pastor. That's what was happening. Everybody was like, damn, and he's a F you, I'm gonna kill you. Their eye is darkened and they're becoming weak, and it's good. It's a good thing for that to happen. Watch them become weak and watch the eye get darkened, because for years they lived quiet. They lived in heaven. They got paid to say whatever, to sell out. You go to the root of all these little Jewish scams where they're stealing the record labels. Big up Commander Yahanna bringing out that history. Where they paid Harvard, brother, to do a study on why the black record labels, wherever they was faltering at. And the Jewish man made a whole industry based on that study, which lets you know that these bastards could solve our problems because they could identify it. You understand? What's wrong with black people? Nigga, you know what's wrong with us. You could solve our problems, but you solve the problem so your people could capitalize on us. But in order to capitalize, you need that preacher to say, I believe that's a good thing. You better go ahead with that.
Mm-hmm.
You need that preacher to co-sign the plan. Preachers was doing it when all these gentrifiers was buying up these houses. They went to the preachers, gave them money, and the preacher would go, and then these older women and men would go to the preacher and say, well, you know, I got an offer for the house. What do you think? I think you should. I think the Lord wants you to sell that house. And they sell the house now, and now DC is now white. All these traditional black neighborhoods in DC is full of these little bike riders with these little golden retrievers running up and down. And these people riding these bikes with a big tray in the back with some little bobblehead white kids. Why? Because your preacher told your parents and your grandparents, yeah, go ahead and give everything over. You need that preacher to facilitate the sellout. He's the middleman broker in the sellout deal. And, you know, when you're down bad, you don't look at him. You think, well, the Lord is against you, and the Lord is against you, but it's that preacher's fault. Go ahead. It ain't Southeast no more. They're gonna rename that shit too. That shit ain't gonna be Southeast much longer. I drove up there this week, brother, coming from you know, Waldorf side, and I couldn't believe how the highway looked now. I took South Capitol back into DC, brother. My mouth was like, the whole time, I couldn't believe that was South Capitol. I couldn't believe it. And white people there, 11 o'clock in the morning with a bike, and the kids in the back, and the puppies in the next one, and in a little trailer, and they just South Capitol straight to the damn baseball stadium. Brother, the roads are so smooth. Traffic lights work. It's you know, devil heaven back there, brother. They're gonna rename that whole thing. They're gonna cinnamon biscuit brunch. Some should come in with the names. Go ahead.
Everything you just said is hitting all different types of nerves with me. But that bike thing, like, you know, I was taught all my life, you ride the bike out of the street, get out of the street. But they done turned it so like they narrowed the roads. So you got bike lanes, so you're in the way of all the cars. Like it's
privilege, huh? They live quiet. They live quiet, but guess what? Your leaders signed off on that. Our leaders signed off on that, and this is why you can't have zero respect for them, right? They're going to be the vagabond Jews. That's who's going to be a vagabond Jews as the truth rise to power. Like this is a good time to be in. Where you're going to see now, you're a priest up in here, you gain it and you doing the work. You're going to see more. You're going to get them calls like what Kazakh got. More you're going to see certain things and hear certain things and be in battles with certain people. And you're going to be amazed at who's going to be in your corner. And you're going to witness them preachers walking by with hoodies dried up. With hoodies and looking horrible because they live so delicious their whole damn life. Like this, imagine this bastard, he stole down near $70,000 from these two elderly people that we know about. That we know about. Think about all the other shit we don't know about that he did. And that's why the money talk get him so goddamn angry. He probably wondered, well, damn, he probably was in the damn courtroom seeing me do this shit. Go ahead.
I think it is in Jeremiah. I forgot which chapter and verse about setting another king over us that's not your brother.
I'll get it. There's some simple to go through. Definitely check out Jeremiah Hyman class on Monday. We write up on the time, so I ain't gonna go into it. But you ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to set a king over you from among your people. We don't have to even worry about that now because we already have a king, Yahushua. So we don't have to worry about another one. Like they'll make you think all this politics and these policies and stuff. You should go vote so you could change it. Brother, you should come find Commander Yahanna so you could learn how to live. And it don't matter what policies they put in place, your life gonna be better. You get the point, Shapat?
So his arm being clean, dried up. That's
his strength. That just think that arm that you fight with, that strong arm. Imagine that shit dry up like that parody horror movie where they had Scary Movie. Remember Scary Movie? And the man with the it's a strong arm. That's your preacher in the spirit. Like all his might and power is just gonna shrivel up. It's just gonna, and it's gonna be like, damn, homie, that same preacher's driving that Benz out. You're gonna see what's gonna happen with him. You're gonna see he probably damn near gonna lose his church over that damn battle on Saturday. And listen, you remember a few years ago we battled the White House official? You know, they fired him the next week. He got fired. He got fired and he was trying to hide. But of course, you know, in here we'll find you. You come up in front of that cam, brother. We'll find where you live. That's right. And how to say it in football? Get his address. You know what the football coach just tell you? You get his address. If he go home, I want you there. We find everything about you. They fired him the next week. He made a post saying his time in the White House has come to an end and he's returning back to South Carolina. The next week. Go ahead.
So, I just had one question. Why is being a Jew such a discussion when in Jeremiah 14:2 it said the Jews are black? So
I'll tell you why. This last scripture. Give me Romans 3:1. Give me Romans 3:1. Last scripture. I had so much more to go in with these preachers, but let another one run up. Right, let another preacher come. Go get help this time, nigga. When you cast out one demon, you come back with 7 more. Bring 7 more. Because boy, listen, I ate my belly full on Saturday. My brothers had to eat too, preacher man. Come on back. Let these brothers feast on you feast on you fools. Like y'all think Commander Yahanna raising up, what you came forth to see? A reed shaken by the wind? Don't you know a rough, hardcore brother? How could you call him a hoe? Because he is one. God damn. Read it for me. Give me Romans 3:1.
Oh, God. Romans chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew?
Right? What advantage had the Jew? You just asking. Why is it such a discussion? You're thinking like, why is it such a big deal, right? The Bible says the Jews is black. And this is why the Lord, it's damn near such a blessing to have the Lord in our corner. Because we are such little children compared to these nations. Like, we don't think how they think. We don't even imagine and fathom to do the things they think to do. Right. We just not like them. Right. And because we just not like them, it's damn near like we don't know what's at stake. And we don't see what's at stake. They see it. And they'll move, heaven and hell to have it. That's how far they'll go. Right. They'll move. Ain't nobody find Bezos yet. I ain't see the Jewish community move against Jeff Bezos one time. Right. Bezos getting paid off of Hebrews to Negroes. Nobody's saying shit. That shit running for $50 goddamn on Amazon. I'm not watching that shit. That's too expensive for my eyes. My eyes is broke. I got broke Section 8 nigga eyes, TANF and WIC. That's too expensive for me. $50 goddamn. You mad? Listen. I'll read all the posts about it in about a month. I'll know what the movie's about. I'll read every single post about it. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. Oh, man. I ain't getting into it. They done boycotted that whole thing. Keep reading that, please.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
Right? What profit is it to be a Jew? Or what profit is there of the circumcision? That's what he was asking. What's the big deal? This is the big deal.
Much every way.
Say it again.
Much every way.
Say it one more time.
Much every way.
Much every way. Every way. We don't understand it. We as a people, we don't understand why the Jewish man is fighting so hard for this to never get out. We don't understand none of it. We don't get. Listen, this fool named Guy Fawkes was going to kill the King of England over the Bible. He was going to burn him alive over the Bible in an assassination attempt. This is how important our heritage is. You understand? Keep reading.
Because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
Go ahead.
For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid.
Hell no. It don't matter if you don't believe. Right. It don't matter if you don't believe the Jews was black. It don't matter if you don't believe he gave us his records. It don't matter if you don't believe. Right. Hell no, it doesn't make it of none effect. The Lord is going to restore his people.
That's right.
The issue is our oppressor, he don't give a damn about the Lord.
Right.
He's serving his belly.
Right.
And that means he has to oppress us to keep what he has.
Right.
You get the point? He has to fight tooth and nail. The Apocrypha says he is going to be something adversary. And I don't want to say worthy, but it says formidable adversary, meaning when Christ returns, brother, it's going to be an obvious, we can't beat this nigga. But they are going to fight because that's just how he is. He ain't like us. It's like, all right, man, you got me, man. You got me, man. Time out. You get a punch in the solar plexus. Every nigga know what the hell that is because they know it hurts. You get it in the solar plexus. You start doing it. Time out, bro. Time out. The white man is not like that, bro. He's fighting till death. You got to kill him or he got to kill you. And after he kill you, he going to sit and cry over the victory. Like how after he killed the lion and the giraffe. It's so beautiful. And he cry over the victory. He wants that. Being a Jew is so important, brother. They built the whole state of Israel with it. They have the whole music industry right now, right? How much money they gave NBA YoungBoy recently? $90 million. 90 million. Right? 90 million. Just double check and see how much it is, if it's 90 or not. I know it's a ridiculous amount of money. Right? They give this young brother, NBA YoungBoy is how old? 22? 23? Yeah, 22, 23. He a young boy. Right? I believe they gave him something like that, 90 or 80 million dollars up front. 60 million. Let's just say 60. 60 million is enough for every nigga to go buck wild. So you get 60 million right now. You walking on North Capitol naked. You get 60 million tonight. You'll be in your drawers and a headpiece walking down North Capitol talking about stop. Forget about 90 million. It's big money. If he get 90 million, think about what the devil who pay him that making. And now you understand why it's such a big deal.
Right.
It's so much money, brother. They run the Diamond District. Right. They run it. They've been running it for years, for years. It's ridiculous the benefit of being a Jew. Right. And now they're making all that money off of us. Imagine if that was us in position, doing everything with no restriction. I forgot. I had some videos here to play tonight about all the Jewish managers that was telling them what to sing and what to say. Tupac was saying it. I found the one with 50 Cent, where I think it's Jimmy Iovine, and they're telling him, no, rap the lyric like this. You know what I mean? You understand? But we can't see it, brother, because of how we are. We're not them. We're not the predator animal. We're the prey. You get the point? We don't think like that. You need the Lord, and you need to have a king, and you need to have men over you to inspire that in you to say, you know what? That's ours. We're going to take it, and we're going to be in charge. Yeah. Without that, we'll just be, Christian. You get the point? What profited being a Jew? Much every way. Everything you could think about, it matters. It absolutely matters. With that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shapat.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, out of Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, in the book of Marital, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'aishu. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, feast of the dedication of Hanukkah, 25th day of the 9th month, by the space of 8 days, Saturday the 17th, December 2022. You can find this in the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. So like I said, do you have any other announcements?
No, that's it. December 4th weekend, and what's this? 1st through the 5th is Vegas cookout. The West Coast cookout is gonna be in Vegas, I believe, on the strip. The camp is gonna be on the strip. What is that, December 2nd or something like that?
That Friday, sir.
The Friday is gonna be camp on Vegas strip. It's gonna be something, you don't want to miss it. All right, go ahead.
Call, sir. Remind Akam Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hairband and scarf. And with that, that's a major, which means stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatham.
Yad Yamatah, Saw, which means to turn. Sisters, you may stand, Imagine. Right hand over left, with your heels together. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Shema. And what you would say,
go ahead.
And what you would say is Yahweh, Shema, Al, Atham, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Yad Yamatah, class dismissed.